Welcome to week 3 video of Python. Let's start. Today, let's try writing a piece of code which works as a quiz question. So it asks the question and tells whether the answer we give is correct or not. So let's try it with a simple question, which is, when did India get its independence? Okay, so we want to ask this question. So to ask this as a question and to allow the user to enter an answer for this, we need an input statement, right? So we need to keep this inside input, and we need to convert the answer entered by the user into an integer. So we are doing that, and then we need to assign the value that the user enters to a variable. So I am using a variable called year, and I am assigning the value of the input into that. So let's run this and see. Okay, it asked us. So I enter 1947. See, it's not doing anything because we didn't write anything yet. So if year equals 1947, print you got it right. Right. Else print you got it wrong. Okay. So now let's run it and see. Now if I enter 1947, see, it's printing you got it right. Okay. Now, what if I print 1950? See, it's saying you got it wrong. So what if I need a second chance? See, first I gave 1950, which is a wrong answer. But now I remembered the correct answer. So, but it is not allowing me to enter it again, right? It's just asking the input and taking it. If that year is 1947, it is printing you got it right. Else it is printing you got it wrong. So if someone gets it wrong, it is not giving them another chance to give a correct answer, right? So if we want to give another chance, then we can write. Uh, so I added these lines here, which are basically, after the user getting this message, means when he gave an wrong answer, then we are again asking him to enter the input, and then we are checking if it is 1947, print this, and else print that. So now let's run it and see. If I give correct answer, it is saying you got it right. Perfect. But if I enter a wrong answer, it is saying you got it wrong, and it is giving me another chance to basically write the correct answer. So now also if I get it wrong, what is it doing? It is just printing you got it wrong and uh, terminating the program, ending the program. So what if we want to give unlimited chances for the user to enter? So I want to write a code which lets the user attempt as many times as he wants. So the code will end only when he gets the correct answer. So let's try writing the code for that. So to do that, we no longer want this, so I'll remove this. And then just observe this carefully what I'm doing. Okay, now I wrote these 3 lines. Observe these and let's first run it and see. See, first it's asking me. So if I enter a wrong one, see, it is saying you got it wrong, enter once again. Okay, now I'll enter once again. The second time also I got it wrong, so it's asking me to enter once again. Again wrong. So it is giving me infinite chances to enter the answer until I get it correctly, right? So in this attempt, if I write correct answer, what is it doing? It's just not asking me to enter it anymore because I gave it the correct answer. So we even want to tell the user that he gave the correct answer. So to do that, we just need a print statement here. Right. So now let's run it and see. Wrong answer. Again wrong answer. Again wrong answer. And when I give a correct answer, it is printing, wow, you got it right. So what just happened? What did these 3 lines do to the code, which is letting the user enter as many times as until he gets it correctly? So this is called a while loop. Okay. Why is it called a loop? Because it is performing a same action so many times, right? See, it is doing the same thing. You got it wrong once again. It is printing the same and asking the input so many times until we get the correct answer. So it is doing the same thing repeatedly. So that's why we call this a loop. And uh, how many how many times will this loop repeat? So this while loop repeats until this condition that we gave becomes false. So in the first iteration, it's asking the input and then it is checking if this condition is being satisfied or not. Means if it is checking whether the year is not 1947 or not. So if it is not 1947, it is printing this and taking the input again. But when this condition is not satisfied, means when the year is 1947, it is exiting the loop and then executing whatever is there after the loop, which is this print statement. So remember that the while loop runs until the condition mentioned is incorrect. So this keeps on asking as many times until we get the correct answer, which means until the condition fails. So this is what a while loop is. So moving on, let's say there is a string. So I want to print this string. So it's just this, and if I run this, it's printing. So what if I want to print this string 10 times? So what we can do is we can copy this line and paste it 10 times. So I just copy pasted that line 10 times. So now let's run and see. See, it's printing the string 10 times. But this way is not so efficient way and it's taking as many lines of code as the number of lines we want as an output, right? So, is there any way to make the code simpler or make it efficient? So, let's do one thing. Observe what I'm writing. So, I will comment out these lines. So, you can comment out any line by selecting that line and pressing Control slash, and that will comment out those lines and they will not be executed. So only these two lines will get executed now. So let's run it. See, it's giving us the same output with only two lines of code. So what is this doing? What is this line doing? So it's just that we are doing something 10 times, right? So this is called a for loop. Okay. For this variable, this I variable in taking range of 10, we are doing this process, which is printing this string. So we are printing a string 10 times in a loop. So we can mention anything here. If I want to mention 20 and run it, it will print 20 times the same string. So this is how the for loop works. So now let's try to print the sum of first n numbers using for loop. Okay. So I'll initialize a variable called sum to 0, and for I in a range 10. Okay, let's say I want to print the sum of first 10 numbers. So for I in range 10, sum equals sum plus I. So let's run and see what it's giving. Okay, we are not printing the sum. Then sum. Okay, it's giving us 45. So what is this actually doing? So this for loop is first of all we initialized a variable called sum to 0, and this for loop is like these two lines are being repeated these number of times, which is 10 number of times, and this variable I which is there, it gets incremented by 1 in each iteration starting from 0. So to make it simpler, I write a comment here. Okay, I starts from 0. To be specific, the value of I starts from 0 and goes till 10 minus 1, which is 9. Okay, so this process is being repeated 10 times, and in each iteration, the value of I is being incremented by 1. So in the first iteration, the value of I will be 0. So this line, sum will be 0 plus 0, which is 0 only. So in the second iteration, when it goes to here, the value of I will be 1. So this line, sum, now present sum is 0. So sum is 0 plus I. The value of I in this iteration is 1. So it will be 1. And in the next iteration, the value of I will be 2. So the sum will be 1 plus 2, which is 3. And the same way in the next iteration, the value of I will be 3, and so on. So the value of I varies from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you count, these values are 10 different values ranging from 0 to 9. So this for loop takes the values from 0 to 9 uh, by incrementing the value of I by 1 in each iteration. So if we want to get the sum of first n natural numbers start from 1, right? So to do that, I can specify 1, which is the starting point of this loop. And we should go to 10. 10 means we should always this see. If I specify the range as n, the value of this I will range from 0 to n minus 1 only. So if I want the value till 10, I need to specify 11. Okay. Now this loop, the value of this loop will vary from 1 to 10. Right. So now if I run it, it is giving the value of the first 10 natural numbers, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, which is 55. And if I want to print first n natural numbers, I can do that simply by writing a for loop for I in range. I want to print first 20 natural numbers, let's say. So natural numbers start from 1. We need to go till 20. So I need to specify 21 here and print I. And if I run this, it's printing all the numbers from 1 to 20, right? So what if I want to print only the even numbers? Okay, we can do that by simply, so even numbers start from 2, right? So here we need to mention 2, which is the starting point. And we need to go till 20. And we know that the even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. So we need to skip a number in between two numbers, right? So if, see, let's run this and see what it gives. So it's just printing all the numbers from 2 to 20. But we want to skip each uh, alternate number, right? So if we print 2, we won't print 3. If we print 4, we won't print 5, and so on. So we can mention something here. If I give 2 and run, let's see what happens. See, it's giving all the even numbers ranging from 2 to 20. So what this third thing is doing here is telling the for loop to increase the value of I by 2 in each iteration. So it is starting from 2, going till 20, and it's incrementing the value of I by 2 in each iteration. So in the first iteration, the value of I is 2. So it's printing 2. And then it is in the next iteration, the value of I is 4. So it's printing 4 and so on. Okay. So now let's say I have a string vibgyor and the name of string is s, as I mentioned here. And let's say I want to print the first character of s. So to do that, I specify s of 0. So that will print the first character of the string vibgyor, which is v. The same way, if I want to print the second character, as we know that the indexing starts from 0 in Python. So the first character So to get the first character, we need to specify 0 here. So if we specify 0, we get V, the first character. So if we want to get the second character, which is I, we need to specify 1. So if we give 1, we will get I. So the same way we can print, so what is the length of this string? 7. So to get the last character, we need to specify 6. See, I got the last character. So what if I give 7 here? See, it is saying string index out of range because there is no character with that index 7. So it's giving an error. So the maximum index is 6 only, which is the last character R. Perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to print all the characters of this string in a loop. So for I in range 7, we are giving 7 here because the length of this string is 7. So we want each character of that string. So that's why we are specifying 7 there. Print s of I. So let's run and see what it's doing. So it's printing all the characters. So in the first iteration, the value of I will be 0. So it's taking print s of 0. And in the next iteration, the value of I will be 1. And then it's printing s of 1. And in the last iteration, the value of I will be 6. And it's printing s of 6, which is R. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let me remove. Okay, let these be here only. I'll take a new code box. Okay, let's say we have two brothers. Let's say we have Sanjay, and he has shirts with 7 different colors. Vibgyor, which are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. And he has a brother, Kumar, and he also has the same colors t-shirts or shirts. Okay. So both Sanjay and Kumar have 7 different color shirts and they are Vibgyor. So they basically have same 7 shirts. So now, so if Sanjay is wearing a violet color shirt, what are the possible shirts that Kumar can wear on that day? He can wear all the 7, right? So we want to find all the possible combinations of shirts that both brothers can wear on any day. So we are basically calculating some set of combinations, uh, and if on any day, if we see both the brothers, the combination of shirts that they are wearing will be one of these possible combinations that we are calculating only. So to do that, what we can do is for I in a range 7. The range is 7, right? Because there are 7 possible colors, shirts. So for every for every colored shirt of Sanjay, Kumar can have 7 different uh, shirts, possible shirts that he can wear. So we need another for loop to basically calculate uh, what are the possibilities of Kumar. So let me write this first and then I'll explain what's happening here. See, these are all the possible combinations that both brothers can wear. See, it can be violet violet, it can be violet indigo, it can be violet blue, it can be violet green, it can be violet yellow, and so on. There can be so many combinations. So what we are here doing is we are first keeping this. S- in the outer for loop, we are ranging the values from 0 to 7. So in the first iteration, the first for loop, this for loop will have the I as 0. So, and then in this second for loop, the first value of j will be 0. And then we are printing s of I and s of j. Maybe we can here keep k, because anyway that okay, okay, maybe that's right. Okay, perfect. So in the first iteration, the both I and j will have the values 0 and 0. So it's printing 0, zeroth character of the this string and zeroth character of this string, which are v and v. And then in the second iteration, it will go to this for loop, because this for loop should iterate 7 times, and then only after after successful iteration of successful 7 iterations of this for loop, then it again goes into this for loop, this first for loop. So in this for loop, the values of I and j will vary from the j varies from 0 to 6. The same way I also varies. And this I varies only when this j has got all the possible uh, uh, values, which are 0 to 6. So, how many total possible combinations can be there? So, to count that, we can, mm, you know, initialize a count, and after printing each element, we can increment the count by 1, and then at last we can print the count. See, the count is 49. So, there are 49 possibilities of the shirt colors of these two brothers, which is 7 into 7, right? So he has 7 possible colors and he also has 7 possible colors. So the total possible combinations of both will be 7 into 7, which is 49, right? So let's move on. And this is called a nested for loop. A for loop inside another for loop is called a nested for loop. So now, let's say I have an email ID. So we all have one, and I have an email ID, and I want to extract only the username part of that email ID. So so I want to extract only the username of that email. So let's say we have an email uh, xyz123 at iitm.in. Maybe. Okay. So we have this email ID. So I want to extract only this part. Okay. So let's see how we can do that. So I wrote something here. Let's run it and see what it does. See, we are getting XYZ123. So what this is doing is For C in email, this is iterating through each character of this email string, right? So if that character is found to be this at symbol, we are doing something called break. Means we are breaking the loop. So this loop is iterating through each character of this email, and whenever we come across this at, we are breaking the for loop. So if it is not, if that character is not at, we are printing that character. Okay, so that's why we got it like this. So we got each character in each line, right? So to get it in only one line, we can specify something called end equals some empty string. So with that, we get it in only one line. Okay. What this break is doing is it is uh, exiting from the loop when this condition is satisfied, which is when we come across at symbol. Okay. So now, what if I want to print the whole email except this at symbol? Okay, so I want the whole string except the at symbol. So what we can do for that is, let's replace this break with some keyword called continue. Let's run and see what it's doing. See, it's printing the whole email ID except the at symbol. So what this is doing is, when it is coming across this at character, it is doing continue, means which is it is skipping that iteration. So it is skipping that iteration. So once this if condition is satisfied, this print statement, at last this print statement is not being executed. So it's immediately going to the next iteration of the for loop. Okay, this continue skips one iteration, like it won't execute anything which is present after this continue statement for that iteration. So that's why we are it is not printing the at symbol. So this is the difference between break and continue. So now I want to print all the numbers which are divisible by 3 in some range. Okay, so for I in range, maybe till 10, I want to print all the numbers which are divisible by 3. So for that, what we can do is, for I in range 10, mm, if I mod 3 equals 0, print I. So this I mod 3 equals 0 is checking whether that I is divisible by 3 or not. So this mod is nothing but the reminder that we obtain by dividing that number by 3. Okay. So see, we got all the possible numbers which are divisible by 3. Okay, now, so if I mod 3 equals 0, I'll print that, else I'll do nothing. I don't want to do anything. So if I run this, see, it's giving me an error, which is incomplete input. So this else block can't be empty anytime. So now to fill that emptiness, I'll write a keyword called pass. Now let's run it and see. See, now it's printing what we wanted. So we are writing this pass just to fill that else block with something, because else block can't be empty. So this pass performs no action, no operation, like it does nothing. It just used as a filler to the else block, to not to do anything. So yes, So that's all for this week, and make sure you practice whatever we discussed. Uh, and thank you.